Try and wrap your mind around this. A cruise missile with a nuclear warhead fired from a submarine. Why does Trump want to build that kind of weapon? And why did Biden try to stop it from being made? Let's go back to the Cold War. Back then, the United States and the Soviet Union had many more nukes than they do today. And America had not only strategic nukes, but also thousands of tactical nukes. Strategic nukes are those that have many Hiroshimas worth of explosive power and can reach any point on the planet. They're meant to deter enemies from ever launching a nuclear strike because that would mean their own destruction. Tactical nukes are still diabolical, but have a more limited yield and can be fired at shorter ranges, so they're meant to be used in battle, usually to compensate for a weakness in conventional weapons. After the Cold War, the US got rid of almost all of its tactical nukes and instead made its conventional forces stronger, while keeping enough strategic nukes to deter Russia and China. But in recent years, Russia started adding to its tactical nukes and now outnumbers the US about 10-1, and Vladimir Putin keeps threatening to use them. So Trump wants more options, in case he needed to win a regional war in Eastern Europe or Asia. That new cruise missile on a submarine would give him such an option. But wait, if only nuclear game theory were so simple. Let's say the American submarine already exists and Putin actually does launch a tactical nuke in Eastern Europe. The US must punish him, so now it launches missiles from its submarines. But which ones? The Russians have only minutes to decide what's incoming. A conventional warhead? A limited and tactical nuke? Or even a huge strategic bomb? Well, the American missiles are in the air. The Russians launch more nukes. Now the Americans counter-launch. Other nations, within the first few minutes, recalculate and maybe panic. North Korea might decide it's use it or lose it and nuke the South. When scientists modeled the scenarios, the outcome was an escalation that left 100 million people dead, and that was in the first half hour. So tactical nukes, because they seem smaller and are more tempting to use, are considered destabilizing and dangerous for anybody, America, Russia, or China. That's why Biden didn't want them. There's only one way Trump could use that submarine nuke to make us safer. He could threaten to build it, and that way force Putin and the Chinese to the negotiating table so that all three agree to limits on these weapons. Otherwise, we might just enter hell.